All right, so this video is so everybody will know how to defend these guys out here. And the reason I say that is because of the success they've had in the past. There's an expectation that comes with that. So they have a certain level of pressure that nobody in CHSA has because they're the only team in CHSA history that's playing PSAT's national team, Xavier's national team. They're playing Houston Christian. They lose by 10 in this game. This was never a game. And that's why I wanted to see if we have the maturity to play the schedule that I've put in front of us. Because this isn't a game where we come in and we're supposed to win. I mean, I can't think of an advantage that we have over them. Meaning, it's an away game, disadvantage. We're playing with a shot clock. All right, we never do that. They're bigger, stronger, faster. I mean, this kid is towering over Cade by a foot. He's even taller than that kid. This kid is about their height, but he's thick. This is the tallest kid on the court. He's like 6'8". There's our tallest player right there. And he's taller than everybody that's pictured in white. They got 6 practices a week. We practice twice. They got 14 players on their bench. About 10 of them are good. They have, this is Crandall. He knows exactly what he's doing. Good coach. Love knows what he's doing. This is their head assistant, so I'm assuming he's pretty good. So they got 4 paid coaches. So there's a coaching advantage. They have better facilities. They got boosters. We got to go wash cars. All right. So if you really look at it, the only advantage that we probably have is the training that they get at my gym because each kid gets individually better, which shows you that's the only reason this score is like that because there's no other advantage that we have. So what we know allows us to play. That's it. And like the film breakdowns that I'm giving y'all, I don't think most teams get them at this detail. But this is how you know what they're doing. So look at this kid. He's like, hey man, you got to move up. And really, basically, what they're going to do is throw it high post. Not that they'll have any trouble with that because our power forward is about 6 inches shorter, maybe more, than both of these guys. So even though we did everything right and give ball pressure, they just have to throw a jump ball. So now Cade's in no man's land. He has 2 people to guard on the weak side. This guy is supposed to be right here. All right. So then they catch it, they tip it in. That is a design play that you can only run because of their size. There's no way they could throw it over Evan if he was 4 inches taller. But they know what they're doing. They scored that on purpose. There's no amount of heart that's going to stop that. So the boys are doing exactly what they're supposed to do and competing with a team that they're not supposed to compete with. All right, here's another possession. So they come down. They throw it short corner on purpose, hit the tall dive guy. It doesn't matter because they could just throw it high to him. We're walling up. That's perfect defense. We're going and like, hey, there's nothing that we're gonna do about some of these points. So how good our guys have to play in order to keep up with a team that can just look at the height advantage. They can just say, hey, everybody crash the boards. And that could be your plan, which isn't a real plan, but that's one they can use. That means, hey, our guys are gonna have to overcome a lot of other things. All right. So look, and I'm making this video to get everybody on the right mental track because that's the only way they're gonna accomplish the things that I think they're capable of. But I keep turning around and the boys are thinking they're not succeeding because they're losing to Houston Christian. All right. And so look, we get a trap or Ty's going for the trap. Nate seeks a guy to go block out. That's good. Brandon's blocking out. Ty sprinting back in. It takes a weird bounce. All right. This is just growing up not being 6'5". That's the issue with this one. So, like I said, they need to know that like, hey, we're on track. You competed with Houston Christian by 10 points. I think you could have the lead because there's some things we could do right. But at the end of the day, we're not coaching effort here. This isn't an effort thing. This is like, hey, I'm just not as big as them thing. Here's another play. We're making them work. As you can see, we already got our arms extended mirroring. I mean, it helps to just throw it right over Cade's head when you got 6 inches on him. But for us, we got to understand this kid isn't making a better decision than we make. He's just taller. And so if we were in this position, we would probably turn it over against their length. But look how hard they're working. Boom, we're moving. Flight of the ball goes up. Look at the block out. So Nate finds a man. Ty finds a man. And Ty goes up and gets the rebound. And I like this possession because it shows a lot of growth, especially from Nate right here. I get on Nate about defense and stay moving his feet. Nate does that. And that's the other thing that I wanted this video on here for, because I wanted to make sure that we make sure we highlight a lot of the good that's happening. Because like we leave a game and we focus on the negatives and we don't focus on the growth. So now Nate walls up, makes him shoot over him. We end up with another rebound by Ty. And those are the little things that even I have to look at as the coach that's training them, because as a trainer, you always want more. So that's a good play. All right. And then I want to just show another there's nothing you can do play. So, hey, let's run a play, but let's throw it to our 6'5" shooting guard and then dribble up and make their middle man help. And since we know they can't deflect the pass as long as I put it above my head, because now, I mean, his hand's almost as high as the rim. All right. So now we throw an entry pass. And then we got another kid that jumps like a pogo stick and he's over the rim and he just flexed his calves. All right. And like I said, we got to look at that. I don't know why that was a foul, but at the end of the day, look at this height between him and Court. These are plays that they have a luxury of having. I think, when they get the transition layups they scored, but at the end of the day, when it was time to execute, they could decide to say, you know what, let's just be taller than them and make sure we shoot it at the rim. That's not an option for us. All right. So again, I just want to backtrack and see the growth in the players. So this is a much lesser team, right, than Houston Christian. You could tell by the size; they look like us. So this is us dealing with the ball pressure. All right. Immediately we turn it over before we cross half court. All right. They scored again. So here's another possession at it. All right. There's another steal. And so now let's fast forward to what we've become since we got in the lab and worked on that. All right, this press doesn't even compare. All right, so we throw it in, throw a couple skip passes. And again, these are the things we got to look back. And this is how we know there's no need to worry, because our guys, each practice and each game is going to help build our next practice and training plan. All right, so now they're in a different press, a 2-2-1, because this team is versatile. Get it up the sidelines, get it to Dre, easy paint touch. Brandon sitting by himself, straps a three. Okay, so team shoots. Of course, they're going to end up with the rebound. All right, but you know how hard it is to defend, how deflating that is after you play defense and then they get the ball. Look at the energy that we're playing with defensively, especially Court. Look, I can't get mad at this. Trap, Cade had nobody behind him. Get another trap. They try to throw it low. Nate helps. All right, there's really very little places to go. There's 10 seconds on the shot clock at this point. This guy gets frustrated. Court, let's back that up. Court, you need to learn to fall on this. Once a guy gets that mad and throws that shoulder, you're so much smaller than him. If you would have just failed, it would have been a charge. All right, that was like an Isaac special. So now it's 4 seconds left on the shot. Nate walls up all the way. We end up, and all we need to do is just throw a good pass and score a layup. But again, th- that's the effort. That's why, and guess what we're going to work on all this week? And next time when we look back, what we're going to be better at? We're going to be better at throwing these over the top passes. So that hard work down here isn't for naught, and we can score buckets. All right, we'll do one more right here. So we get the ball in. They got a new personnel in, so they're fresh, and our guys are just working the ball up the court. This looks easy. Nate does a great job. He does a retreat dribble, and as soon as Andre's man leaves to trap, he doesn't keep running. He stops. So that makes the pass easier for Dre. And now Dre gets to the paint, kicks it. So now Court normally wouldn't be able to get by this guy, but he's using IQ. He does a ball fake, which makes this guy lift. So now Court can attack. Now Ty's man helps. So Ty does what's called a post slide. So now we drop it off and we get a wide open layup. Here's the good thing about that is as we get here, if this guy who's guarding Cade drops in front of Ty, Court would throw it to Cade. So we got everybody in a position to do all the right things. All right, so parents, these kids are on the right track. Distractions are the biggest killer to success, so don't be part of the distractions. There's going to be a lot of everybody's looking at this team. So there's going to be a lot of words about it. Just
Don't be a part of the distraction. Don't engage in it. Don't gossip about it. Just let the boys play. They are doing good. They'll be fine. All right. And we got to get all on the same page and same track. Um, Players, hey, remember, stick to your plan, not your mood. All right. So your emotions don't get the vote. Y'all have goals you put inside. You got to stick to whatever those goals are, not how you're feeling. All right. And lastly, success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. Success comes from what you do consistently. All right. So if you're gonna make the trip and do this national title run, that's my goal. I want that for you. That's what y'all told me your goal was. So we have to treat you as such. All right. So that means you got to stick to it and commit to your commitments. All right. So hey man, y'all are doing good. Let's keep getting better. I know y'all gonna grow. And just a reminder of what y'all need to focus on. Don't listen to the distraction and the noise.